Welcome to Daily 5 for Monday, March 31st, 2025. I don't think it was all that long ago that I did a 5 where I was really thrilled to hear that Google had open sourced the PebbleOS so that anyone could develop new hardware using it. And sure enough, one of the original developers of the Pebble watch, which I've talked about missing and loving so much for a while now, is in fact producing new, they're not called Pebbles, although I don't think they're going to still be called Core Duos by the time they actually get shipped out, but there is a new Pebble-like smartwatch. I mean, basically it is a Pebble smartwatch that is being produced. And at first I thought this was a Kickstarter type of thing, but in fact, no, there are actual units that will be made and will be sent out, barring any type of production problems, of course. And I have pre-ordered one of them because I really sat there and thought about it for about a day or two. And I thought, okay, I've been using the Pixel Watch 2 for a while now, and it's been fine. But is there anything about that I really feel is superior to the experience I had with even my older Pebble? And honestly, after just thinking about it and kind of going through the inventory of things I do with it, which is not a tremendous amount, I am not a heavy smartwatch user. Really, I do probably a handful of things on it, and everything else I can kind of leave aside. I probably spend more time messing around with watch faces than I do with anything that this watch can do in terms of advanced features. And so after thinking about it, and like I said, doing an inventory on what I do with it, the only thing that I wish the new Pebble would have, and by all accounts will not, at least nothing's been announced. In fact, I think it was specifically ruled out, is that there's no GPS built into it. And honestly, I can probably figure out a way to get around that. The GPS is really only important because our dog has arthritis and she's had hip surgery, so I walk her a very specific distance so that we don't overdo exercise, but we make sure we keep her joints kind of moving. And I've used the Pebble Watch 2, the Pixel Watch 2, the Pixel Watch 2 to do that. And that's really the only thing I can think of in the Pixel Watch 2 that I don't think the Pebble will be able to do right off the bat. But I can figure a way around that just using like step counts and just a general idea of where we're going. I am not concerned, and it was not enough for me to stop and say, no, I should stick with what I've got. No, I pre-ordered one of those new watches immediately. And honestly, I can't wait because it feels like even the battery has just gotten remarkably worse for no reason, and for somebody, again, who's not using this watch to do all that much. And I don't know if it's related to the update. Some people reported that after a Pixel Watch update, maybe not the last one, maybe the one before, that the battery suddenly got a lot worse. I was paying attention. I don't recall that the battery just started right after that update. It just feels like it has incrementally just lost its charge. And I know that's something that happens with all batteries, but this feels like it's before. I mean, that watch is not that old, and I don't feel like it should be this dramatically worse than when I first got it. So just the idea, because I think the new Pebble watches both, I am obviously on the lightest usage. Well, I think are saying 30 days of battery life, but you know what? If I charge it once or every 2 weeks, I will be thrilled. I will be thrilled to do that. Even my former Pebble watch, the last one I had, which I think was the Pebble Time, maybe? I can't remember what it was. That one, I think I had to charge every 5 days. And even going from that to every other day with the Pixel Watch 2, I get so irritated when that battery saver thing comes up. I mean, it just drives me crazy. And the lack of cellular, you know what? The cellular on the Pixel Watch 2 is more of an annoyance than it is a nice thing to have. I can't stand that it tries to answer on the watch all the time. It's miserable to use it on there. So it's just one of those things where it's rare that we get an old piece of technology that's coming back, and one that actually I think is going to be an improvement on what is the most current form of technology. Which again, to go back to a Pebble, which to some people they'll look at and they'll probably like, oh God, why would you want to go back to that? I can't wait to go back to that. I can't wait to have a screen that's easy to read in the sun. And like I said, just the idea that I will be able to charge this thing every week or two, maybe even more, because again, I'm not doing that much. Really, what I use a smartwatch for is to be able to reply to texts in the car without having to use my phone, track certain stuff and like stuff with my dog, and be able to delete emails without having to, again, take my phone out of my pocket. I don't need much, but I'll tell you what, the Pebble sounds like it's going to do everything that I want, and it's just going to have that really wonderful battery life. So this is a case of, an old favorite coming back, and honestly, I cannot wait to get my hands on this thing later.